Hey, what's going on guys? Tanmay, and in this video tutorial we are going to be taking a look at the getElementByClassName method, which will help us access the HTML elements in a different way. So in the previous video tutorial of this playlist we saw the getElementByTagName method, which helped us access all the tags of a particular type on the HTML page regardless of whether it had an ID or it did not have an ID or class and so on and so forth. So similar to that we have one more method which is known as getElementByClassName. And let's first understand what is the difference between getElementByClassName and getElementByTagName. So if you've seen the previous video, what we had is we had 5 different paragraphs and we didn't have class in those paragraphs. So in this case, we have 3 paragraphs which have a class of myPara. So basically this class is an attribute of tags, of HTML tags. You can have class attribute to any HTML tag, be it a division, be it a anchor, be it a paragraph, be it a section or so on and so forth. So what happens is we have 2 different ways in which we can uniquely identify particular elements. So we have IDs. So we have ID is equal to P1 and then we have class. So the difference between these two is when we use ID, we can use that unique ID only one time for one particular HTML element or HTML tag. Okay. But what you can do is, let's say you want to perform manipulations of multiple tags, So here you can see you have 5 paragraph tags. But I want to change style for the first one, the third one and the last one. Okay. I don't want to change any styling for the second paragraph or fourth paragraph. So in that case, I can use this class attribute. And my goal over here is to change the styling for all these paragraph 1, 3 and 5 in the same way. So if I'm changing the font size of paragraph 1, I also want that same thing applied to paragraph 3 and same thing applied to paragraph 5. So I cannot use the same IDs over here, because as I mentioned, ID has to be unique. So that's where the class attribute comes, and in CSS also the way we access these two things is different. I'm not gonna do the CSS styling over here because we are more interested in JavaScript. But when we move ahead in this series, we will also see some little bit of CSS code, and we'll see a different file which is .css file which will be linked, and we'll also see a separate external JavaScript file. But right now, just to keep things easy, we're gonna be doing everything over here in JavaScript. So this is the basic difference between ID and class. And now let's see how it looks like in the JavaScript. So on the click, we have change styling method, just like what we had in the previous video. Right now, if you click, nothing is happening because we don't have any JavaScript. So let's create that function. So I'm going to say function change styling. Inside this, I'm going to say var element is equal to, I'm going to use the document object because the getElementByClassName is a method which is for the document only. So I'm going to say document.getElementByClassName, and inside this I'm going to pass the class name which we've given to these paragraphs. Okay, so what is happening over here is this getElementByClassName is returning a collection of HTML elements which has the class of myPara. So now you must be wondering, okay, then what is the difference between getElementByTagName and getElementByClassName? So getElementByTagName returns all the tags of a particular HTML element. So let me just show it to you. So if I say var tag is equal to getElementByTagName, and inside this I need to pass the name of the tag. So here I'm passing P. So what is happening over here is I will be getting all the paragraphs of a particular type of HTML element. In this case it is paragraph. So let's say you have one anchor tag. Okay, so I'm gonna add an anchor tag ahref, and I'm just gonna pass hash over here. I'm gonna say this is anchor tag. Okay. So in the output, you can see now we've added an anchor tag, but now you can see that this is not a paragraph tag, right? So when I use this getElementByTagName, I will get all the different paragraphs on the HTML document, but I will not get this anchor tag. Whereas when I use getElementByClassName, I will get all the HTML elements regardless of their type, whether it is a paragraph, whether it is a division, whether it is an anchor, whether it is a section. I will get all those elements having the same class. So if I apply this same class over here to the anchor tag also, I will get this anchor tag also in this elements array. Okay. Now again, it is going to be returning an array of HTML collection of all these HTML elements which have the same class, right? So this is the difference, and I hope you're getting it. When you want to access one particular type of tag and you have to access all of them on the HTML document, you use the getElementsByTagName. But when you have to access different type of HTML tags, and that to limited ones, not all of them, you can give them classes and then you can access them using the getElementByClassName. Okay. So now let's actually go ahead and do certain manipulations. So here this manipulation is only going to apply to those having the class name as myPara. So myPara is applied to first paragraph, third paragraph, fifth paragraph, and we also have added an anchor tag. So let's see if this works. So I'm going to say element of 0. In this case, this is 0 means first paragraph. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'll use the for loop for simplicity. I'm going to say for var x equals to 0, x less than element dot length, and I'm going to say x plus plus. And we're going to be applying one single styling. So I'm going to say element of x, because x is the iterating factor over here and it's not I. You can have any name. I'm going to say dot style dot color is equal to red. So let's see if this works. And there you go. You can see as soon as I click on the button, the first paragraph, the third paragraph, the fifth, as well as the anchor tag became red. So now you can see I can selectively target all the different type of HTML elements on the website using the class name. And it doesn't have to be of a one particular type, So if I use the tag name, I could have changed all the CSS styling, or I could have manipulated all the paragraphs, but not this anchor. And again, I have to access all of the paragraphs. So even though I just wanted to change the first one, third one, and fifth one, if I would have used getElementByTagName, I would have got an array of all the paragraphs and not the selected ones. But since I'm using more selective targeting, I'm using getElementByClassName. So I am applying classes. I've applied the same class to all of these things which I want to access, and then I do the same process. So yeah, this was the video on getElementByClassName. So this is another way in which you can access different elements depending upon how you want to access them. So we've seen getElementById if you want to selectively target only one particular element with a unique ID. We've seen getElementByTagName. So if you want to access a particular type of tag on the entire HTML document. And then now we have getElementByClassName, which will give you a little bit more flexibility by applying classes to only those elements that you want to access, regardless of what the type of that element is. Okay, so that's it for this video, guys. I'm gonna wrap it up over here. In the next video, we'll see a little bit more of DOM manipulations. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments how this video was. And thanks for watching. See you guys in the next video. Peace.